Oh, yes, please. That's everything it needed to be there tonight. Let's not get too excited. We've just beaten the team that are 12th in League One. But let's get excited about what we're seeing from Manchester United right now. 18 games since we last played City. We've only lost one of them against Villa. We continue the momentum. 3-0 winners there against CHARLTON. Now, I would say, that scoreline, it flatters us a little bit. But Marcus Rashford only comes off the bench and bangs in 2 goals. I think that's 8 consecutive games at Old Trafford he's scored now. I think he's now got 7 goals in his last 6 games. Unequivocally, this is the best we've ever seen Marcus Rashford. And Erik Ten Hag there making it clear how serious he's taking his competition by bringing on Rashford, Eriksen and Casemiro with 30 minutes to go. He didn't want the end of that game to throw up any bullshit. He didn't want a late equaliser from CHARLTON and then all of a sudden go into a penalty shootout. Marcus Rashford came off the bench there, and I will be speaking about Pellistri, who really made a difference. But Marcus Rashford, man, whoa, he is a problem. He is a problem for everyone. He's unstoppable. The confidence, the finishing, the movement, everything about his game, it's just there. It's just there. And every single game that goes past, you just have the confidence in Rashford that he's going to score. And I think he's got the confidence in himself that he's going to score as well. And as I said, a shout out to Pellistri. I was going to mention him later in the match reaction, but I think it deserves a little bit of a spotlight towards the start. Pellistri came on there and in a 7-minute cameo, he got an assist for the second goal. But in 7 minutes, he did more than Antony Elanga did across 83. Antony Elanga is not technically good enough for Manchester United. I'll speak about him a little bit later, but he had to wait a long time for his debut. He got his debut, and he took advantage of it. Well done to Facundo Pellistri. I want to see more from him. And I'll be speaking about Kobbie Mainoo. Let's speak about him now. Today, debuts galore tonight, really. 3 debuts. I think Tom Heaton, that was his debut as well, by the way. How much better than Martin Dubravka was Tom Heaton? Yeah, not that he had to do that much, but he was calm, composed. One really good quick throw out to Garnacho, who's probably our most exciting player over the 90 minutes. But Kobbie Mainoo there, calm. I would say it was a calm performance. It wasn't a performance which will take any headlines, but if you're a central midfielder, you don't technically need to be. Not always. Just make sure you're passing it, you're moving it. I think he'll be happy enough with his debut. And in my opinion, he is a genuine star in the making. He's 17. And tonight there, you've got Kobbie Mainoo, who's 17, and Alejandro Garnacho, who's 18. 2 of our FA Youth Cup winners from last year, both playing for Manchester United and starting for Manchester United tonight. Erik Ten Hag is the perfect manager for these lads. He really, really is. And look, Antony again with his second goal in as many games. Now, we're getting into sort of arguments with the lads from the podcast. Antony, his overall performances, they're not there right now. Anybody can say it. Everybody can see that. But the guy's got 5 goals in 10 starts. He's got 2 goals in 2 consecutive games. And ultimately, what's the most important thing for a winner is final product. His final product is there right now. His overall game is not there. He needs to be able to realise, oh, fuck it, I've got right foot down there. I didn't know that. He needs to start using his right foot. He needs to be able to go on the outside of his defender. Because coming up against a decent team, you're just not going to get anything. I know Iron Robin made a whole career out of cutting inside and just bamming it in on his left. And that's a great asset to have. But Antony does need more in his locker. Look how happy Delo was with Antony's goal. And it's an absolute scorcher. Remember his scorcher he scored away at City that kind of got forgotten about because we got trounced 6-3. But there was so many positives there tonight. A real positive for me was watching Garnacho. How excited, mate. He's 18. Kobbie Mainoo's 17. We've got a great crop coming through and they've got the perfect manager to take advantage of that and to give them the opportunities when they need, well, at the right time, if you know what I mean. But Garnacho, so dangerous. Maguire's diagonals in that first half, very dangerous. I told you it would be he plays better alongside Martinez. Anybody plays better alongside Martinez. I'll speak about both of them a little bit later. But Garnacho, so dangerous, so direct. Kind of unlucky, really, not to get a goal or an assist tonight. Really, it was he had the overall the far better performance than Antony. But Antony was the one who came away with the goal. It's kind of weird how it works, isn't it? But Garnacho, I think Erik Ten Hag will be extremely happy with how he played. And we've just got the right problems going into the derby, I think. Look, Rashford on fucking fire. If he can continue that against City and Arsenal. 1-1-1. Muy bueno. Muy bueno. Quite the opposite of muy bueno. Antony Elanga is not technically good enough for Manchester United. I know he runs. I know he offers an outlet. I know he's got the tenacity and the attitude. Yes, I don't doubt that whatsoever. Technical ability is just is missing. And when you see what Pellistri was able to do there in less than 10 minutes compared to Elanga across the course of 80 minutes, a lot of us been shouting for it, and he was decent enough for Uruguay at the World Cup to command opportunities at United. And I think there, Ten Hag taking notes. Pellistri, pretty decent cameo. He should be getting minutes ahead of Antony Elanga in the future. Somebody who I'm delighted to see back tonight is Lisandro Martinez. First half, he was flawless. Martinez's vertical passing through the line on the floor, they're so important. I don't think you realize, maybe you do realize. I realize how important that is to break in the lines and bring in United forward rather than just a ball over the top. You can do it quicker. It increases our tempo. To his credit, I thought Harry Maguire had a really good first half. Lots of really good diagonal balls to Garnacho. But going back to Martinez, his second half, he looked like he hasn't played in the Premier League since, November. In England since November. Shaky touches. He got, 90 minutes? I think he got under his belt there. I hope he's fit to start the derby. We need him there. We need him alongside Varane. We need Shaw at left back. We need, Dalot. I was going to speak about Dalot. Where's his picture? I hope that was nothing more than a precaution to see him getting taken off. I really, really hope so. Because I do not want him to be getting injured. But Tom Heaton, as I said, I want to give a little bit of credit to Tom Heaton. I thought his performance there, compare it to how Dubravka played against Burnley, both in the League Cup. My God, that Dubravka game, it was almost like he got loaned back because of it. It wasn't, but that was his only game for United. Tom Heaton there making his debut. I think there was a stat someone said, like, Tom Heaton's an academy player. He's making his debut at the age of, so I don't know how old he is. The same day that Kobbie Mainoo is making his debut, and Pellistri as well. Debuts galore tonight. But Erik Ten Hag wanted a professional performance there. It was League One opposition. It was the League Cup. 8 changes from the team that beat Everton in the FA Cup at the weekend. And it worked. Man United we didn't blow them away. I'll be honest, we should have blown them away in the first half. We should have been more than 1-0 up at half time. And that's why at 60 minutes, he made a decision to bring on Casemiro, Eriksen and Rashford. And that was a decision which changed the last 30 minutes of that game and ultimately meant that United cruised into a 3-0 victory overall. If he had not brought on Rashford, Eriksen and Casemiro, I guarantee you that it would have been more of a tetchy sitting on the edge of your own box, defending that 1-0 lead. And we probably would have held out for it, but it wouldn't have been an enjoyable last 10, 15 minutes. Casemiro, by the way, that ball for Rashford. Casemiro, where is he? His photo. There he is, down there, he's just protecting the corner of my screen in the same way he protects United when he's on the pitch. But it's just, there's such a good vibe around United at this moment in time. It is the perfect time to go into the derby. And that's what, I don't think the next 3 games will define our season, but they really could. Because if we got City, if we get good results against City, Palace and Arsenal, who knows how far this momentum can go. But Marcus Rashford right now genuinely is unplayable. I'm hoping that he can continue that form in the game against City at the weekend. Pellistri, well done in the cameo that you had there. I think he's played himself into more opportunities. We've got the League Cup semi-finals coming up. Let's see who we draw. We've got Reading in the FA Cup coming up. I want to see him get minutes now ahead of Antony Elanga. If Elanga's going to get minutes, it should go to Pellistri instead. Antony himself, the goal was there. The overall performances aren't. But if I'm honest, if 6 months into a new transfer at United, which would I prefer to see? Goals or overall performances? What's more important from our winger? Goals. He's impacting games. But his overall performances do need to improve. And I'll be the first to admit that. But I just think he's getting a little bit too much stick. 5 goals in 10 starts is very, very impressive. Kobbie Mainoo, I think he'll be happy with that. I think Ten Hag will be happy with that. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. We'll probably see him in the League Cup semi, maybe not if he plays City, and hopefully against Reading as well. Garnacho is such an exciting prospect. He's 18, Kobbie Mainoo 17. I like the way this is going. But we're through to the semi-final. That game was everything it needed to be. 3-0, yeah, I wouldn't say it flatters us. I think we absolutely deserve to win 3-0. But we had to wait a little bit late for it. And I tell you what, man. Rashford in the derby. 8 consecutive games he scored at Old Trafford. Let's make it 9 on Saturday, Rashford. 3-0. Happy days.